Hello everyone, I hope you all are doing fine. So this is video I'm making to share my interview experience for AWS Cloud Support Engineer profile. I gave interview last month and the total process took 1.5 months. So step by step I'll explain each and everything, like how it went for me and what was the overall process, and what are the mistakes that I did and you should avoid to. So the first thing is shortlisting. So for me, it occurred through a recruiter. A recruiter reached out to me on LinkedIn and she asked for my resume, and then my resume was sent to hiring manager. And once it was approved by hiring manager, she shared the further process. So the second thing that happened for me was she shared the series of technical interviews and managerial interviews. So in AWS Cloud Support Engineer, the interviews are categorized into two types. There will be a technical. First category is technical interviews, and second one is managerial. So in managerial, they will mostly ask all the questions that are related to their leadership principles, and in technical they will ask the question that are related to those related to the profile you are applying for, and yeah, and the basics of computers and all. Let's get started with the technical interview part. In technical interview, she shared three subjects to me, which was operating system, networking, and database. As the profile for which I was applying for, it was a database profile, cloud support engineer DBPO. So I expected advanced level questions on databases. So in databases, I had a choice to choose one database in which I am proficient in. So I chose PostgreSQL, and in operating system there was choice to choose net Linux or Windows, and in networking I guess there was no choice. So the first interview that took place was database. It was for database, and I gave the interview. It was total 1 hour of interview, for which in which the 45 minutes was technical interview, and for 15 minutes she asked me questions regarding to some leadership principles. And the overall interview was uh, she asked me. I was asked like a bit advanced topic as well, and a bit of basic topics as well, and most importantly troubleshooting. So they will surely ask you questions related to troubleshooting, how you will troubleshoot a database, how you will troubleshoot any issue that is going on in a database. So that was all the database part. And in the operating system, for operating system and networking, I had only one interview. Like both interviews were compiled in a single interview. So it was total 1 hour of interview, in which for 45 minutes I was asked the questions about operating system, networkings, and any troubleshooting regarding operating system. For example, if your Linux machine is facing any storage issue, or if your Windows is facing any storage or issue or startup issues, what you will do. So that was all the basic troubleshooting part. And for networking, I guess they will only ask you basic fundamental types of question. For example, what are TCP/IP model, what is OSI model. So all these things you should have a good knowledge about DNS, and how DHCP works, all these kind of questions which are basic networking question. So I would suggest you to for database, you should if you choosing data, if you are applying for database profile, I think you should have a good proficiency in it. And for practice, you can go to basic interview questions, and I would suggest you to go through documentations of any database that you are choosing. And for operating system, you can go for Java T point, and in networking also you can choose Java T point. Except from all this, you can basically search for, I think you can use geeks for basic interview questions of operating system and networking. And yeah, uh, that's all. Or you can go to interview bit. So that was all the technical section. So my first two interviews were cleared, after which uh, I asked to proceed with the managerial interviews, and in managerial there were two interviews. Both were mainly focused on leadership principles by AWS. So I would suggest you to go through those leadership principles and go through the questions that are mostly asked for those leadership principles. Uh, for example, they can ask you what did you do when your colleague needed a help. You should really have a good information about what happened in that situation. So if you are telling a situation, you should have a really good in depth of what happened, so that they, because they are also very experienced people who take your interview, so they know if you are lying or not. So it's better to prepare those leadership principles. The mistake that I did, uh, it was that I didn't focus much on leadership principles. I was prepared for it, but I felt that I should have given more time to leadership principles. uh, the same, I should have devoted same time that I devoted for my technical interviews. So I think that was the reason that I got rejected for it. So I hope that you all learn from my mistake, and I hope you all the best if you are shortlisted for the profile. Thank you, have a nice day, bye.